Penn State is now at 5-0 for the season with a very messy 17-7 victory over Northwestern. The win left fans with more questions than answers. I'm Kendall Stalicky, joined alongside CheRanda, Hammond, and Gianna, Cutaia. The Lions were a 25-point favorite, but their play did not demonstrate that kind of domination on Saturday. Penn State has a lot to work on over the bye week, and we have a lot to talk about. So the Lions survived 5 turnovers in a highly ineffective passing game last weekend, and this was not the Sean Clifford or offensive line that we saw beat Auburn 2 weeks ago. So Gianna, I'll start with you. Taking the weather conditions into consideration, what was the poor offensive play due to mishaps on Clifford's part, or did the offensive line disappear on him?
So first I'm going to take into account the weather. It was terrible. It was rainy. It was cold. The field was a mess and everything. Everybody's been looking at this game as, oh, we're going to blame the weather and everything. No, the running backs looked terrible. Ball security wasn't there. There was no offensive line in front of Clifford. Yeah, Clifford could have played better. He went 10 for 20 with 140 yards and a touchdown. Not very good for Clifford. He can do a lot better. Nicholas Singleton, the true freshman, had 2 fumbles in that game. Yes, prior to this game, he only had 1 fumble on the entire season. Therefore, he's been doing pretty good. So everybody's going to say it was the weather. No excuse. Coach Franklin says it's no excuse either. There has to be better ball security. The team has to do better. The offensive line needs to protect their quarterback and everything. And I don't care. Weather is never going to be an excuse in this situation. We are a top 25 team, not a top 10 team. Penn State has to do better.
Yeah, so I totally agree with you there. The weather is no excuse for the running backs to not have 2 hands on the ball. That's a big thing, ball security, and especially in a rainy game like it was on Saturday. Just very disappointing to see. I saw a tweet on Twitter that said the Lawn Boys were actually Leave It on the Lawn Boys. I thought it was pretty funny, but they just got to work on it, and I think they'll definitely have a lot to work on this week. But going to your point about Sean Clifford, chanting "We want Drew" when the running backs fumble is not fair to Sean Clifford. Chanting "We want Drew" when he gets sacked is not fair to Sean Clifford. Not everything's Sean Clifford's fault. Clearly, he had 1 interception, his second of the season, and he threw straight to 3 Northwestern defenders, which, yeah, okay, that might have been his fault. But every time, it's like Sean Clifford breathes in the crowd chanting, "We want Drew." Don't get me wrong, I want Drew in. Everyone wants Drew in, but I think at this point we need a veteran in at our quarterback, and Justin Chevalella said it best. Everyone needs to back Sean Clifford if we want this team to go far. He is the leader of the team. He calls most of the plays. Everyone has to be behind him in that.
Yeah, totally agree with that point. And Saturday was definitely a very tough game to watch, but a win is a win, and Penn State is still undefeated and now a top 10 team in the country. So after the bye week, which we know Penn State's record is not good after the bye week, they're playing Michigan, which is a rock-solid top 10 team. I think Penn State is going to have to play at their highest level to even compete with this team, let alone win. So, CheRanda, I'll start with you this time. What are your thoughts on this challenge against Michigan, and is a win possible at this point in the season?
So, the Penn State football team, they traveled to Purdue for the blackout. Then they traveled to Auburn for the orange out. This one's the maize out. I think that Penn State definitely has a good chance to win. Just got to work on that ball security and get the O-line to be a little bit more consistent. And this game is definitely winnable, even at the Big House.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. I think that Penn State definitely has a chance to win this game, but it's not going to come easy. Like Kendall mentioned before, Penn State does not do good off of post-bye weeks. James Franklin's record since being here, 3-6 coming off for a post-bye week. That's a terrible record. We got to do better. Penn State can't come out flat. Our offensive line has to be ready. Our running backs have to be ready. Everybody has to be ready. And I know everybody's going to say, let's put Drew out on the field. I'm a big Drew fan. I want to see him out there. But when we're playing Michigan, I think Sean Clifford is the way to go. He's a 6th year. He's got the experience going up against J.J. McCarthy. He's only in his 2nd season at Michigan. So right now, Penn State's got to use their experience to their advantage to beat the Wolverines. If Penn State does that, they can be successful and beat a top 5 component.
Yeah, both really good points. Now, going back to last Saturday, right after the win, Coach Franklin announced that running back Devin Ford is no longer with the team due to personal reasons regarding academics. So the team's strengths right now are with their running backs in Nicholas Singleton, Katron Allen, and Kevon Lee. So Do you think that Ford's sudden exit has anything to do with playing time, and how do you think this is going to affect the team?
Well, I think that it's partly both. Definitely academic, personal reasons are a main priority. You're playing top Division I football. You can't do that if you're not eligible. Grades have to be a priority. And if Ford wants to focus on his academics, good for him. He's taking himself first besides putting football first and everything. But yeah, there is the question about him not getting playing time. We haven't seen much from him since last year and everything. And he is eligible to redshirt. He only participated in 4 games so far this season. That makes him eligible to apply for a redshirt. He still has that COVID eligibility also that will grant him an extra year. But right now he isn't in the transfer portal. That was clarified on Saturday. And so maybe he will. We'll have to be on the lookout for that. But right now I think it might just be the personal reasons.
Yeah, I agree with everything Gianna said. Personal reasons, academics definitely come first when it comes to anything, even especially when you're a student athlete. But I know, like me personally, I'd probably be a little scared with playing time if I was going up against someone like Nicholas Singleton and CheRanda. The running back room has no shortage of talent. Devin Ford also has that talent, so it might just be a compete, but academics definitely come first.
Yeah, as Coach Franklin said, wishing him the best, and we'll have to wait and see what happens. That's all we have for this edition of Penn State Sports Night. The Lions have 2 weeks to make the significant changes they need to remain in the top 10. The question remains, will they and can they? For CheRanda, Hammond, and Gianna, Cutaia, I'm Kendall Stalicky. Thanks for watching and have a great night.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night. We hope you liked that segment.
And we're sure there's other Penn State Sports Night segments that you are going to love as well. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more content.
And check us out on social media for updates and behind-the-scenes clips and pics. Follow us on Twitter at PSSN TV and on Instagram at PSU Sports Night to keep up with all the action.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.